Your entire life, you've been evaluated by a scale that was never real. They told you intelligence was measurable, an IQ number, a report card, a framed degree hanging on drywall. They said it was about memory, about speed, about how quickly you could solve problems someone else designed. That definition was convenient. Convenient for institutions, convenient for systems, convenient for control. Because real intelligence has nothing to do with appearing smart. Real intelligence is leverage. It is survival. It is positioning. It is the ability to bend reality before reality bends you. Machiavelli understood this. The true strategists of history understood this. While the masses competed to look intelligent, a minority focused on becoming powerful. There is a hierarchy, invisible, ruthless, that determines who consumes and who is consumed, who commands, who kneels. Most people never climb past the first rung. They live in cognitive fog. They believe they are making decisions, yet their scripts were written long before they were born. There are 7 levels of intelligence, 7 evolutions of awareness. What follows will not comfort you. It will confront you, because once you see this ladder, you can never unsee it. You will begin noticing strings attached to people's movements. You will see silence behind their eyes. The only question is whether you're prepared to know where you stand. Level 1, the sleeper walk through a crowded city during rush hour. Watch faces on public transport. Stand in line at a grocery store. You will see them, the sleepers. They are not necessarily low IQ. Some are doctors, lawyers, engineers. They may quote Shakespeare or write elegant code, but functionally they are asleep. Their intelligence is reactive. They do not initiate, they respond. The alarm rings, they wake. The boss commands, they comply. The headline flashes, they adopt the opinion. They believe their thoughts are original until you ask them why. Then the structure collapses. A reposted article, a parental echo, a cultural reflex. Machiavelli observed that those who are simple and bound by immediate necessity are always available for deception. The sleeper has no agency. Everything that happens to him is someone else's fault. The economy, the government, his upbringing, his luck. Freedom terrifies him. Total autonomy would cause panic. He craves direction. He needs consensus before forming belief. His greatest fear is not being wrong. It is standing alone. He is background noise in the movie of history. He powers systems built by higher minds. He consumes, produces, and is replaced. If you are fully at level 1, you likely aren't here. But if something in you has begun to itch, that uncomfortable sense that your life is pre-written, that isn't depression, it is awakening. Level 2. The mimic. When the sleeper wakes up, he does not become wise. He becomes loud. The mimic realizes the world is a game, that intelligence signals status. But he has not yet built an internal mind, so he borrows one. He collects ideas like fashion accessories. He quotes books he hasn't absorbed. He repeats philosophies he hasn't lived. He signals awareness rather than embodying it. At this stage, intelligence becomes performance. Degrees, certificates, vocabulary, polished armor worn for applause. This is the most seductive trap because the mimic feels superior to the sleeper. He believes he has escaped. He hasn't. He has simply entered a more sophisticated illusion. He knows enough to sound informed, but not enough to recognize his ignorance. Challenge him with something original, something unscripted, and he freezes. He cannot create. He can only replicate. The mimic's self-worth is tethered to validation. Question him, and he becomes defensive. Expose uncertainty, and he reacts with aggression. If you constantly debate to win rather than understand, if your identity depends on appearing right, you are here. Colorful, vocal, but still dependent. Level 3. The calculator. This is where darkness sharpens. The calculator abandons the need to look intelligent. He cares about results. He studies incentives. He studies fear. He studies desire. He realizes rules are not sacred, they are constructs, and constructs can be navigated. This is the fox. The calculator doesn't work hardest, he maneuvers smartest. He knows who to flatter, when to stay silent, how to position himself for maximum gain. He views interaction as transaction, effective, strategic, often successful. But something corrodes here. When every conversation is leverage, human connection dissolves. You begin assuming everyone is calculating too. Paranoia replaces trust. You win the game, yet remain trapped inside it. Many executives, politicians, and successful figures plateau here. They possess money and status, but no peace. They are reacting to the system, not transcending it. To rise higher, calculation alone is insufficient. Level 4. The operator. The operator is the lion. He does not merely navigate systems, he imposes will upon them. He acts, he leads, he makes decisions others avoid. This is generative intelligence. He creates opportunity rather than exploiting scraps. People follow him because he embodies order. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if both cannot coexist." The operator understands responsibility requires severity. But this level has a weakness, visibility. The operator stands at the front. He absorbs praise and blame. His power depends on energy, presence, momentum. If he falters, wolves circle. He believes he is king, yet he is often a servant to ambition, exhausted, targeted, dependent on constant output. He still thinks power is about action. He has not yet learned that the most dangerous forces are unseen. Level 5. The puppeteer. The puppeteer steps into shadow. Direct control creates resistance. Subtle influence creates obedience without awareness. He does not push. He engineers desire. He understands that humans move primarily through fear and longing, so he crafts narratives, designs environments where outcomes feel self-chosen. He whispers behind the throne rather than sitting on it. He uses sleepers, mimics, calculators, even operators as extensions of will. Invisible, plausibly deniable. But the cost is identity. Wear enough masks and you forget your own face. The puppeteer views humanity clinically, predictably manipulable, powerful, yes, but alienated. Still, he remains within the game. He manipulates pieces on the board. The next level builds the board. Level 6. The architect. The architect does not control individuals. He designs systems. He understands behavior emerges from environment. If you want people to move a certain way, you do not command them. You design the hallway. Corporations, platforms, economies, ideologies. The architect builds arenas where foxes compete, lions fight, and puppeteers whisper, while he owns the structure itself. He thinks in decades, in consequences 3 moves ahead. He is detached from single battles because he shaped the war. Social media founders are architects. They do not care which argument wins. They profit from the arena. This is systemic intelligence, MRR, patient, unattached to applause. But even the architect remains tied to creation. If the system collapses, ego fractures. There is one final level, level 7, the void. At the highest stage, intelligence subtracts rather than accumulates. No attachment, no ego, no hunger for recognition. This is internal sovereignty. The void cannot be bribed. He desires nothing, cannot be threatened. He fears nothing, cannot be manipulated. He offers no ego to stroke. He sees foxes, lions, puppeteers, architects, and views them as characters in a play. This is not nihilism. It is transcendence. He can descend into lower levels when needed, negotiate like a fox, lead like a lion, design like an architect. But he does not reside there. He resides in detachment. Machiavelli spoke of fortuna, fate, and will. The void aligns with both. He does not resist the current, he becomes it. This is ultimate freedom, not dominance over others, mastery over self. Now the mirror is in front of you. Where do you stand? Most oscillate between level 2 and level 3, aware enough to see the game, yet still craving validation or trapped in transaction. That is not condemnation, it is a starting point. But understand this. Institutions are not designed to elevate you beyond usefulness. School manufactures sleepers. Universities polish mimics. Corporations reward calculators. Architects are rare. The void is feared. To climb, you do not accumulate information. You eliminate illusion. From sleeper to mimic, awaken to knowledge. From mimic to calculator, abandon applause and pursue effectiveness. From calculator to operator, embrace responsibility and risk. From operator to puppeteer, master subtle psychology. From puppeteer to architect, think systemically. From architect to void, release attachment entirely. It is cold at higher altitudes. Warmth exists in the herd. Clarity exists on the mountain. At the summit you see the drama, politics, conflict, and recognize it as noise. The game continues, but you are no longer owned by it. And there is one barrier most never break, the fracture between level 3 and level 4. Machiavelli called it virtù, not moral virtue, but adaptable force. It requires shedding naive belief in rules protecting you. The world does not reward innocence, it rewards effectiveness. Some aspects of this ascent cannot be explored publicly. The deeper mechanisms, the structural codes beneath behavior, are not algorithm-friendly. But if this shifted something inside you, understand, this is only the surface. The rest exists beyond the visible layer. Most will turn back here, that is the point. Until we meet again, stay sharp.